It's not on? Okay, it's on. Thank you. All right, great stuff. We will be starting shortly, and we would like to request that you try as much as possible to try and find your seat now. We will be starting shortly. Our choir is ready to help and warm us. And as soon as we are ready to start, I will give an indication, but any minute from now, we will be starting. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, choir. Siyabonga, choir. Can we give the choir a round of applause? Thank you so much. Those of you who can be on your feet, only those who can, please just, if we may all rise, those who can, to welcome the Deputy Minister and other dignitaries as they come to the stage, and we usher them to the stage with a round of applause. We will just give the Deputy Minister and our dignitaries time to settle, but I would request them to remain standing next to their chairs. And I would request all of us who can stand in the venue to do the same. And I would ask Bontate, Obaba, please can we take off our caps, our hats, whatever we are wearing. I look to my right, I look to my left. Everybody is ready. We are now in the hands of the choir. Please lead us in the national anthem. Thank you to the beautiful choir. Thank you, Deputy Minister, MEC, and the Vice Chancellor and other dignitaries. Everybody may be seated. My name is Veli Mbele. I am going to be your program director for today. And without wasting of much time, I would like to call Ndate Moses Mareko to come and lead us in the safety briefing, and then thereafter we will do all the formalities. Ntate Mareko. I'm just checking, is Tate Mareko making his way to the stage? It is a bit difficult to start if we have not done the safety briefing. It's an important requirement. Okay. Can somebody in the meantime just check that for me so that we do that? While we're waiting for the safety briefing, allow me to make the following acknowledgements, and you are welcome to clap your hands if I acknowledge the following people, and the people I acknowledge are also welcome to wave at you if they are able to wave at you. Please join me in welcoming the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Umama Nomalungelo Gina. Please join me in acknowledging and welcoming the MEC for Education in the Free State, Mayor Dr. Mantlanke Julia Maboya, representing the Premier. Our G20 representative, I think would be joining us virtually, Professor Gia Yua. Can we also welcome him? The Deputy Director General of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Mboneni Muofe. The Acting CEO of the Technology Innovation Agency, Mr. Ishmael Abdullah. The Chairperson of DeafBlind South Africa, Ms. Tracy Smith. Very important, our host in chief, the Vice Chancellor, Mayor Professor Pamela Dube. On behalf of Minister Chikunga, Chief Director, Mayor Puti Mabelebele. The CEO of one of our important SETAs, the Training Development Practices SETA, EDDP SETA, Nomalungelo Gina. Executive Program Director of the SAB Foundation, Ms. Itumeleng Dlamini. The officials from local, provincial, and national government. And like they always say, Deputy Minister, you save the best for last. The learners who are gathered here from the various schools, the NGOs, can we also just give them the warmest of all welcomes? And everybody else who is part of this occasion, there may also be people who are joining virtually. Can we also just express our appreciation to everybody by also just giving them a warm round of applause? All right. I'm told we are ready for the safety briefing, and it will be done by Ntate Marets. Over to you, Ntate.
Thank you very much, Program Director. In the absence of Mr. Mareko, I'll do the short briefing on safety and also emergency protocol issues regarding the venue that we are in. For DM, for all the dignitaries present. First of all, if you look at on my left here, this is one of our exit doors. We've got about 6 of them here in this venue, and the last one is there at the back. In emergency instances, we need to use those exit doors. And of course, for the restrooms here in the building, those on the left-hand side are just in the hallway down there. They are for ladies, and on the right-hand side, it's for men. Those are just small few announcements that I wanted to make. Thank you very much.
So the other thing that Tate Maritz did there, VC, is to show us that in nature there's no vacuum, right? So he stepped in, and it's also a reflection of the team that you have. So thank you so much for that. We did not have this year, and it's my apologies. Umamu Sebenzile as well. Can we also just welcome her and acknowledge her warmly? Thank you for joining us, Ma'am. Thank you for that. We have been informed that we would get an indication later if we have the office of the mayor. So once we have them, we will indicate. I would now like to take this opportunity without wasting much time to invite to the podium the Vice Chancellor to come and do the official welcome and deliver her remarks. Join me in ushering the Vice Chancellor to the podium, please.
Thank you very much, Program Director. I think you've done a great job by also recognizing protocols so that we are mindful of the time in this venue. But I have to acknowledge our Honorable Deputy Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, Dr. Nomalungelo Gina, and our Honorable MEC of Education, our biggest partner in the province, Honorable Dr. Mantlage Julia Maboka, and to welcome all of you, our distinguished guests, leadership of the various structures that are represented here this morning, our exhibitors in the different stalls. We've just had a walkabout. We really appreciate what you've shown us, what you have brought into this space today, and of course to welcome all of you, our leadership in the province, at government, in industry. We want to work closer with you and the businesses. You see what wonderful work is happening in this area. And most importantly, to welcome our learners, NGOs, and our students from the different universities also that have joined us here, and all our staff and colleagues. On behalf of the Central University of Technology, Free State, I also offer our hearty greetings and extend a warm welcome to all of you esteemed guests during this very special occasion taking place right at the beginning of the Psychosocial Disability Awareness Month, which of course also happens to be the Women's Month. I have to recognize this, looking at the leadership of the powerhouse of women leaders also on the podium and in the audience. As CUT, we are very proud to be part of this launch, raising public awareness and promoting the rights and inclusion of persons with disabilities. And most importantly, we are excited to be part of this event with a number of our key partners and to be associated in particular with TIA and the Department of Science and Technology and Innovation in particular, and for us to be here collectively committed in this way to advancing inclusive innovation in alignment with our country's G20 theme of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. This launch for us today is a testament of this commitment, as well as the transformative power of technology and innovation in promoting accessibility and opportunity. I do wish to recognize all the role players who have made this day possible, especially the organizing committee led by Dr. Tsepang Musea in the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, and at CUT, Prof. Wendy Setlalentwa, the Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Engagement, and Ms. Shirley Mona, the head of the Product Development Technology Station, and all their teams. So the technologies that we are showcasing here today are not just creative products, but a testament to our dedication as an institution to become a leading university of technology that promotes access with success, engages meaningfully with communities, and leverages strategic partnerships to drive innovation, social impact, and inclusive development. The passion and commitment of our students and staff to promote engaged scholarship, as well as human-centered, responsive, and responsible technology and innovation that changes lives, are propelling us towards our ambitious goal of becoming a leader in our niche areas, inspiring hope for brighter future. This launch marks the continuation of our journey to reach that dream, a journey that we cannot embark on without the active partnership of our students, staff, and the public. The support of the Product Development Technology Station is crucial in transforming their innovative ideas and projects into commercial productions. Today, we launch 4 technologies that will provide support to institutions serving persons with disabilities. I will not deal with the detailed contents of these technologies. I know there's still going to be a number of presentations still coming up on the program. But for the purpose of, for our purpose this morning, I just want to highlight one of the exciting innovations which the Technology Station at CUT has supported and made possible through the Technology Innovation Agency Fund. This technology is the groundbreaking device called CADA device, which is not just a technological marvel, but a tool that empowers visually impaired individuals to use their smartphones like never before, providing an intuitive and straightforward user experience. This being the first launch of this nature on our campus, I would like to thank the ministry for their confidence in our ability to co-produce these innovative solutions. The CADA project stands as a powerful testament to what can be achieved when groundbreaking design and research meets a commitment to accessibility. This initiative proudly reflects our university's dedication in partnership with the Technology Innovation Agency to uplift communities and ensure that no one is left behind in today's digital landscape. We are joining our partners in celebrating this remarkable step towards a brighter, more inclusive future. Our university is a hub of innovation and inclusive growth, and we are committed to continuing this legacy. Along with other initiatives at our university, the Product Development Station plays a crucial role in fostering innovation, and it empowers not only our students and researchers, but any member of the community, the schools, businesses, industry, and even government role players, among others, to develop their ideas into prototypes, which can be used to test their products and applications for funding. It also offers skills development for students during their experiential training to work in a manufacturing environment, gaining experience in design and project management under the guidance of project engineers. The Technology Innovation Agency funds the station to stimulate and intensify technological innovation and enhance economic growth and the quality of life for all South Africans. And for this support, we remain eternally grateful. As I close, I wish to take this moment to express our sincere gratitude again to the Honorable Deputy Minister Gina for the privilege and honor of hosting this launch on our campus. And as CUT, we feel a special responsibility to the future of our science, technology, and engineering and mathematics programs, as we believe our tradition of excellence in these programs is ours to build upon for future generations. And on that note, I wish to welcome all of you again, esteemed guests, and to thank you for dedicating your time this morning and today for contributing to making this special collaborative launch a success. Thank you very much. Dankie. Ke a leboha.
Thank you so much, VC, for that warm and comprehensive welcome. It is highly appreciated. It is now my honor and privilege to invite to the podium Ms. Tracy Smith, who's going to be speaking on behalf of DeafBlind South Africa. Can we usher Ms. Tracy Smith with a round of applause to the podium?
Mr. Deputy Minister and all of us who are present here today. I read a very interesting quote one day, which is anonymous, which says, never look down at someone unless you are helping them up. And today, I believe that we are helping people up. And we just heard now in the previous speech about the transformation that technology brings to disabled people. So it is a great privilege for me to be part of this and to, for an honor for DeafBlind SA to be part of this event and know that future events are going to be, there's just going to be greater and greater events. My name is Tracy Smith. I'm the chairman of DeafBlind SA. DeafBlind SA is an organisation. We're a disability which is not very well known. It is a different spectrum of deafness and blindness at different degrees. And so you can be totally deaf, profoundly deaf, and partially sighted, or you can be blind and then have some degree of hearing like I have, and different degrees in between. The two it's a dual sensory disability. It affects the blindness and the deafness affects you in different ways, mobility, social skills, and it just has a far-reaching effect on your life. Helen Keller says that when you lose your eyesight, you lose touch with things, and when you lose your hearing, you lose touch with people, and it is really the case. But despite that, at DeafBlind SA, we provide support services to people who are deafblind and their families, educators, and anyone who is involved with them, so that they can eventually use their voice and communicate. We assist them to use their voice. And so, though it is isolating, though it is hard, sometimes it is not a death sentence. If I look at my own life, I work for Shazison Accessible Media. We provide audio description, and I do so many different tasks. You wouldn't believe that as a deafblind person I do sound editing, and I'm also involved with the back end of the Describe app. I'm a musician, and I don't let life stop me. And nobody with a disability needs to let life stop them. And so today, as I'm privileged to stand here today, I'm grateful for the innovators who are creating technology that will empower, make disabled people's lives better, and make them more productive. And also to the Department of Science and Technology, as well as TIA, for empowering them to make it happen. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
A well-deserved another round of applause for Ms. Tracy Smith. Especially for the learners, there's something that she said which I think is particularly profound and which could be a very inspirational quote you take from her. She said, even though it is hard, even though it is tough, it is not a death sentence. Yeah. She left us with those profound words. Thank you so much, Tracy. It is now my privilege to call to the podium Mayor Nomalungelo Gina, who is the Executive Program Director of the SAB Foundation. Mayor Gina.
Sure. Tracy, you are such an inspiration. What a powerhouse. Good morning, Honorable Deputy Minister, distinguished guests, fellow innovators, colleagues, and students. It is a real honor to join today on behalf of the SAB Foundation. We are proud to be a part of a gathering that puts innovation to work for dignity, inclusion, and access. Let me start first by congratulating the Technology Innovation Agency and the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation on this incredible initiative. Creating a platform to spotlight technologies developed by and for people with disabilities sends a clear message. Inclusive innovation belongs at the center of South Africa's development agenda. At the SAB Foundation, supporting disability-focused innovations has been a long-standing commitment. For over a decade, we've worked with entrepreneurs who are designing practical, life-changing solutions, often because they themselves have experienced the challenges firsthand. We've supported more than 300 enterprises in this space. Their work spans from everything from mobility and communication to education and access to services. Many of those innovations are here with us today. It really is a proud moment for us to see Shazassin, Kada, and some of the other innovations that we have supported over the years. Another real example is Viacom, who uses real-time video to connect deaf and hearing individuals with qualified South African Sign Language interpreters, enabling fast, affordable, and inclusive communications in hospitals, banks, schools, and more. And Shazassin, a mobile app that makes TV and cinema content accessible to blind and visually impaired users by offering real-time audio descriptions, allowing for truly independent viewing. They are exhibiting here today alongside several other, as I mentioned, SAB-supported innovations, including Tieho Detepek Kara and Ulubaba Lombeki. And we are really incredibly proud to see these innovations being recognized and showcased at a national stage. These kinds of innovations don't just remove barriers. They reshape how society operates, and they offer us a glimpse of what inclusive design truly looks like. Through our Disability Empowerment Awards at the SAB, we provide funding, mentorship, technical and business development support to help innovators grow, sustain their businesses. To date, we've committed 55 million to enterprises that are building a more inclusive and accessible South Africa. Many of these innovators we support are people with disabilities themselves. They are not waiting to be included. They are creating the tools that make inclusion possible. That's why today matters. None of this work happens in isolation. And I'm really proud of the partnership we have with TIA because it is truly impactful. And it's a great example of what can happen when business, civil society, government, and academic institutions come together. The SAB Foundation is committed to walking this road with you, TIA, the department, and everyone else who wants to come along this ride. And we are committed to supporting innovation ecosystems that include everyone from the beginning. To all the exhibitors and innovators here today, thank you for the work that you are doing and the world that you are building. And once again, congratulations to TIA and the department for this timely and necessary initiative.
Almost caught me off guard, Ms. Dlamini. You are very businesslike. Another round of applause to her. And I'm sure Deputy Minister would agree, it is an important contribution. And yourself, Deputy Minister, and the Minister, you always make the point about business playing a part in helping us to address issues of national interest, and it is an important contribution they are making, which I'm sure, DM, yourself and the Minister are going to build on, We are now going to have one of our special participants. I've checked with the team who's going to be addressing us remotely, who is a G20 representative, Professor Jia Yu from Suzhou University in the People's Republic of China. I'm told he had already connected. If we could now get the address from Professor Jia Yu, please.
Okay.
There you are.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Program Director, respected Minister, honorable professors, distinguished guests, and dear friends. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jia Yu from Suzhou University, China, just thousands of miles away from here. I'm very honored and delighted to have this opportunity to present here as a representative scholar from China. I would like to extend my congratulations on the convening of the G20 outrange launch of technology and innovation solutions for people with disabilities. This year marks the 26th anniversary of the G20, and as such a crucial junction, is also a special year that makes the beginning of the new year. The year of intelligence had brought many opportunities and challenges for technology to assist the disabled. Regarding technologies and innovations for people with disability, in March 2025, China had a conference in Suzhou with the theme of technology for people with disabilities in the intelligence age, opportunities and challenges. I would like to share 3 consensus from Chinese scholars and entrepreneurs. Firstly, artificial intelligence is a new frontier in human development. It's a key driving force of the ongoing scientific and technological revolution, as well as industrial transformation and the international public goods that benefits the disabled. For example, AI can assist in early diagnosis and intervention of disables, can also effectively quantify and monitor the physiological state, the psychological states of disabled groups, and play a role in depression detection and special education. Secondly, technology for the disabled requires the collaboration of industry, education, government, and academic to form a complete system. There is a need for integration between international policy supports, industrial business models, and the cutting-edge technology to reconstruct the paradigm for the technology for people with disables. Third, technology for the disabled also faces many challenges. There are problems in data storage, technology application, products development, and standard ethics, which seriously restricts the development process of technology for people with disables. To promote the continuous progress of technology for disabled, we need to improve the support system for policy funds, optimize industrial organization collaborations. I think only through our joint efforts from various aspects around the world, including South Africa, China, NGOs, the challenges could be overcome, and the disabled groups could fully enjoy the achievements of Intelligence Year. Finally, I wish today's lunch a big success. Thank you all for the listening. Thank you.
You know? Oh, dear, Mungenzani, God. Thank you so much. Can we give another round of applause to our G2 representatives? Yeah. So we will try with the tech team at the back there that every time the program director is here, it is a cue that the sound should be on. We will try it. We will eventually get it right. Thanks so much. It is now my honor and privilege to invite to the podium Umama Usebenzile Matsebula, who is a member of the board of the Technology Innovation Agency, to deliver a message of support. Umama Matsebula is going to deliver the message, and she's seated this side, so we will focus on Umama. Over to you, ma'am. Testing 1, 2.
Program Director, Honorable Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Honorable MEC. Thank you, Bob. Honorable MEC for Education, representing the Premier of the province, all protocol observed in the interest of time, but just a special shout out to the learners gathered here today to say, I once sat where you are sitting many years ago, because I got my disability when I was 10 months of age. So being there, done that, it's all possible, and just believe that very soon you will be sitting where I'm sitting today. So my name, as the program director has indicated, is Sebenzile Matsebula, and I serve on the board of the Technical Innovation Agency, TIA for short, which is an entity of the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Let me preface my short presentation by stating fact. The fact is that the latest national census of South Africa indicates that in South Africa, we have approximately 3.3 million people with disabilities, which represents 6.6% of the total country's population. These are significant numbers, hence the urgency for us to address the inclusion of people with disabilities as part of the national agenda. TIA is tasked and committed to ensure that the innovations contribute to both economic growth and social development. As a state agency in the NSI space, we acknowledge that innovation systems and technologies for persons with disabilities have been rather slow to develop and to be implemented. However, this is being corrected at a fast pace with significant results already being observed. At TIA, we recognize that there must be a concerted effort to ensure that inclusion is at the forefront of innovations which are designed to promote and to support meaningful development of the quality of lives of people with disabilities. It is imperative that these are supported meaningfully and significantly. As you will observe today, South Africa has some notable aspects of innovations of products and services that are designed to promote an inclusive society for persons with disabilities as a response to the call of the White Paper on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities of South Africa. As TIA, one of our many roles is to support innovations that improve the quality of life and the rights of persons with disabilities in alignment with the decadal plan and the White Paper on Science, Technology, and Innovation. We are fully aware and very conscious that these partnerships must collaborate in an inclusive manner. It should never be an afterthought situation. And therefore, the launch of the Disability Technology Innovation Program, which we are gathered for today, signals a bold commitment to making innovation accessible to all, particularly to people with disabilities who have historically been excluded from the innovation economy. TIA is championing inclusive innovation by investing in entrepreneurs from marginalized communities and supporting technologies that tackle real-world challenges and improve the quality of our lives as people with disabilities. Through a strategic partnership and a focus on lived experience, TIA is building a collaborative ecosystem where inclusive ideas can be funded, scaled, and celebrated. TIA was always in support of innovators with disabilities and innovations for persons with disabilities. And the launch of today's program allows for a further focus and an enablement of innovators with disabilities. Our focus as TIA is to drive inclusive innovation that empowers people with disabilities and redefines who gets to lead in South Africa's economy. As TIA, we are committed to inclusive leadership, and I want to re-emphasize that, whereby we create equitable platforms that support entrepreneurs from underrepresented and marginalized groups to innovate, lead, and scale impactful solutions. We support and ensure these collaborative ecosystems for lasting change by uniting public, private, and civil society partners to co-create and sustain a more inclusive, accessible innovation landscape. In the year 2023, the TIA board approved the Disability Technology and Innovation Program The rationale of the program is a standalone program for disability innovation and technology that promote and ensure the full and equal participation by persons with disabilities due to various barriers that hinder our full and effective participation in society on an equal basis with others, and to promote the respect for our inherent dignity as persons with disabilities. A situational analysis that TIA conducted indicated that no tailored innovation, funding products, enabling environments, no programs in innovation and technology can be usable by persons with disabilities to the greatest possible extent without the need for adaptation. And therefore, DTIP is TIA's unique response to address exclusion of disability in the technology and innovation space. And therefore, this program, just to emphasize, is a unique response to ensure that exclusion is done away with. TIA has further funded a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship for Rural Assisted Devices by Shonaquip. And we have a testing center at this facility as a systemic response for rural assisted devices of the right standards which will be made available to the market. A further database of disability technologies in South Africa has been compiled by TIA. These are just some of the targeted areas where TIA is focusing on and embarking on to ensure that the technology and innovation space is inclusive of disability and that disability remains an integral part of the work of the new strategy of TIA, which we fondly and proudly refer to as TIA 2.0. For me, as the person with the lived experience of disability, I'd just like to emphasize on the importance of the positive impact that these technologies provide for us as persons with disabilities. And a further note that these technologies revolutionize our thought processes, livelihoods, life trajectories, and just further enable us to contribute to national development whilst also giving us a life of dignity. A further note that these technologies are an innovation that provide a 360-degree beneficial turnaround opportunity in the lives of ordinary people with disabilities who are also contributors to our national development space. Hence, as TIA, we have designed a unique program that we are proud to share with you today. It is a great honor for me and the rest of the TIA team to be part of the launch of the disability technologies to provide evidence to our communities that TIA is placing disability at the center of development and promoting national technology and innovation systems. I thank you.
Okay, let's try it. Okay. Thank you so much, Mama Matsebul. It is also important what you did there, to contextualize the production and application of technologies also within the context of social justice, right? And how you beautifully also linked that with our country's G20 theme, right? Because inclusivity is a critical aspect of our theme, right? And actually, from a academic point of view, you are also showing how the applied sciences must also integrate the humanities and the social sciences in how technology is developed, the whole issue of multidisciplinarity, Thank you so much for that perspective from the TIA board. Another round of applause, please. So I need to say this because other people are privileged. They've got copies of the program, right? If we skip some parts, we are not amending the program, DM. We have been briefed that some of the colleagues are not here. So we are not changing the program. And so we will now give this opportunity to the MEC who is standing in on behalf of the Premier, right, to come and deliver her address, Dr. Julia Maboya, if we welcome her to the podium, please.
Thank you, Program Director, and let me also observe the protocol that has already been established, but just allow me to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Deputy Minister, Nomalungelo Gina, our esteemed innovators, and of course our learners and our distinguished guests. I bring the warm greetings of Honorable Premier Makwi Letsua Matai, whose unwavering belief in the power of inclusive innovation drives this department's engagement with today's event. The Premier salutes the partnership between the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, the Technology Innovation Agency, CUT, and the Product Development Technology Station for bringing these vital assistive technologies to life. Our gathering in early August carries special resonance. We are still in the midst of Women's Month, launched across the country on the 1st of August 2025 by the Department of Women, Youth, and Persons with Disabilities to elevate the voices of women in leadership and innovation. It also follows Mandela Month, where on the 18th of July, we renewed our collective pledge to democratic participation and social justice, core values that underpin this particular gathering. Today exemplifies the very ethos of the constitutional democracy we serve. Innovation that uplifts the marginalized, design that centers purpose, and action that destroys silence. Recognizing both Women's Month and Mandela Month reminds us that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. A maxim Mandela expressed when reflecting on equality of access and the importance of inclusive systems. Let us also recall his timeless wisdom that, I quote, "It is not a question of patronizing philanthropy towards disabled people. It is for us to adapt our understanding of a common humanity, recognizing the presence of disability in our midst as an enrichment of our diversity," close quote. This underlines why assistive technologies must be integral to transformation efforts, not supplemented gestures. To our innovators and researchers here at CUT and beyond, your devices, whether video interpreting services, sign language apps, audio description systems, or wearable interfaces, are not mere prototypes. They are practical tools advancing dignity, agency, mobility, communication, and independence for people living with disabilities. Many of these were incubated through government instruments, such as the Grassroots Innovation Program and the Technology Acquisition and Deployment Fund, now entering crucial deployment phases. The Premier's 7th administration continues to prioritize service delivery, ethical governance, and localized economic opportunity in the Free State. Just recently, final budgets were confirmed to support disability services, while collaborations with academics and civic groups aim to reduce barriers in rural schools and public services. These technologies represent tangible steps, not dreams, towards the inclusivity we declared in our State of the Province address earlier this year. We do acknowledge the leadership of Deputy Minister Nomalungelo Gina, who today formally launches this landmark program. Her career from classroom teacher to Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation demonstrates the same conviction that public service demands courage, vision, and empathy. As Premier Makwilitsua Matayo often affirms, there's no public service without communities and no transformation without inclusion. Today's launch is not an end, but a beginning and a living embodiment of that principle. I also recognize the presence of other dignitaries who are here, and of course, even the leadership in terms of innovation that is instrumental in scaling accessibility solutions to reach every province, not only the Free State. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to invite to the podium Deputy Minister Nomalungelo Gina to formally inaugurate today's program. Her powerful advocacy for youth education and assistive technology, guided by the conviction that technology must serve the excluded, sets the tone for this event. I hope I've not changed your program director. Do you allow me to introduce?
We'll just take one person.
Oh, it's one person.
Before the DM, and then thereafter we'll take the DM.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. At least that has been explained to me as to how we are going to proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the message that I got from the Premier of the Free State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MEC. And MEC, you are indeed correct. We are going to give you that privilege of ushering to the podium the Deputy Minister, right? And we are glad that you accepted it so enthusiastically. So we are going to do that. We are now, just before we call you back, MEC, we want to request Me Puti Mabelebele, who is a Chief Director in the National Department, right, of Minister Chikunga, and she is here on behalf of Minister Chikunga to come and deliver a message on behalf of the Minister, right? If we may usher her to the podium.
Thank you very much, Program Director. And I stand on the protocol that has been established. I'm just an official. As per indication, I'm only representing the Minister for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities in the presidency, Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga. Honorable DM, MEC, Premier in absentia, the mayors, representatives of business, representatives of civil society organizations of and for persons with disabilities that are here, but also other organizations that are supporting inclusivity, innovators, trailblazers, change makers, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a deep honor, with deep honor and purpose that we stand here today on this Women's Month 2025 and spotlighting on technology innovations created and by and for persons with disabilities, but also led by persons with disabilities, particularly celebrating the women with disabilities that are championing this work. This to us is more than an event. I'm in the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. There's a branch we call the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, whose main mandate, in line with the mandate of the department, is to lead in the socio-economic transformation and empowerment of persons with disabilities, women and youth. We do that through what we call advocacy and mainstreaming, monitoring and evaluation. Part of the work that we do as government in that space is to ensure that the policy and legislative environment responds accordingly with regard to matters on disability. Secondly, the institutional systems and mechanisms that have been set have got to be responsive too. There's a need for us to continue to create more and more awareness around disability and persons with disabilities. So we have a focused program on awareness, education, and outreach in that regard. We also ensure that we strengthen our stakeholder engagement and management systems. And in that regard, we have established, in line with the white paper on the rights of persons with disabilities, what we call the National Disability Rights Coordinating Mechanisms. Most of the organizations, the leaders in the disability sector that are here belong to that space. And I'm happy that today, as I stand here, Deputy Minister and MEC, what we are seeing here was not the case a couple of years ago. The implementation matrix of the white paper says to us we have to have programs that are impactful, that are seeking to advance persons with disabilities, especially young men and young women with disabilities, and ensure that they are equitably and equally equipped to be able to have access to all that everybody else has access to. I'm happy today that that door, those doors that we keep knocking on in the various departments to say, give persons with disabilities a space to be and work with organizations of persons with disabilities, we are seeing the reality today. We are proud to stand here as a Department of Women to say the advocacy efforts of our work and the work that we do, especially with organizations of persons with disabilities, we are living that reality today. The young persons, the students that are here, the learners that are here with disabilities, there's a brighter future for you. All these innovations are meant for you to have access to information, access to a better livelihood independently. And the support that we're getting from all the duty bearers, be it in the public sector, in the private sector, and in the organizations that are continuing to advocate for our young persons with disabilities, these are the results we're seeing. So as far as I'm concerned, I can see that the future is brighter for you. In terms of the current stats on disabilities, the Free State Province has been cited as having the highest number of persons with disabilities in their diversity. And I think it's by no accident that we are today here to actually launch this particular program. And I just want to thank the Department of Science, Innovation and Technology. In terms of G20, as South Africa, and in particular the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, we are championing the establishment through what we call a Disability Inclusion Initiative to establish a G20 Disability Working Group. We have started that work, and we have had our first technical meeting with the G20 countries in June, and all the countries are in agreement that disability has got to have a special particular space within G20 for us to advance disability inclusion. And it's what South Africa is championing this year with the chairpersonship of G20. In all the years that G20 has been in existence, there's never been a discussion that is specific on disability. There has never been that discussion. So we have started the ball rolling to ensure that that discussion starts, and whoever is going to take over the chairpersonship in the next preceding years will then just advance the mission. Part of what we proposed in the Disability Inclusion Initiative were issues around AI, artificial intelligence, and digital technologies, but advancing innovations of and by persons with disabilities in that space. And more importantly, those innovations that will ensure access by ensuring that there's accessible communication methodologies. And all of this, whilst AI and digital advancement is a convenience to everyone, for persons with disabilities, it's not a convenience, it's about access. It's about being empowered to equally, equitably compete with all, but also being able to advance life the same as everybody else. And that is what that particular priority area is about. Deputy Minister, allow me to also, and MEC, indicate that with SHASM, in actual fact, I was just saying to Shakila that she forgot to mention that during the inauguration of the 7th administration, that particular audio descriptor we had to ensure that we put it to test and practice so that persons who are blind, persons with visual impairments, can have access to the inauguration of the president live, same as everybody. You know, one of the things that we saw was that many people did not understand why audio description, because they think audio description is like a journalist standing there and explaining what is happening. But audio description, DM and MEC and distinguished guests, explains to persons with visual impairments step-by-step nitty-gritties, basic things that the rest of us can see as per Tracy's statement, but are not able, the persons with visual impairments are not able to see. Like, for instance, describing how well-dressed the DM is today. DM is wearing spectacles. He's walking 5 steps towards the podium. This is what, so that's what audio descriptor does. When there's a fly mast, that audio descriptor is actually saying to persons with visual impairments, there's 5 airplanes which are in a particular way and they are flying across. That's not the work that journalists do. So explaining in detail everything that is happening so that also persons with visual impairment are part and parcel of what's happening in broader society. And those are the kind of innovations that we want to see adopted, that we want to see supported. We want to see them in all our spaces, not necessarily during special events and so forth. And it's for this reason that we are happy that organizations and departments like yourselves are here supporting this work. What we need to do right now is to now mobilize business and mobilize funding to ensure that these innovations find themselves in the broader space in society and everyone can have access to them. Because disability is not an inability. Therefore, innovation is our language of equality. I thought I should just emphasize that so that it's understood where we come from in terms of disability inclusion. Now, whilst millions of persons with disabilities continue to face a double exclusion from the boardrooms to digital economy and conversation, what I can say is that we're beginning to see that shift. That is why the persons like Bosebenzile are able to be in boardrooms. And so that means that you as a young person with a disability, you have no excuse. The more these innovations are in your space, the more you'll have access to everything that you require to be equipped and work. But let me also thank and commend the brilliant work that technologists, entrepreneurs, engineers, community leaders with disabilities are doing in breaking the barriers and redefining what innovation looks like. Persons with disabilities are not just consumers, but are also creators, disruptors of what is the norm, but are also leaders in their own right. And we are grateful that this particular recognition is now beginning to filter into all our minds. The fact that disability is on our lips, it will then move to our hands, to action. It's now on our lips. Everyone talks inclusion, and everyone lives inclusion. So now it must go to our hands by actionable, impactful, intentional programs. Allow me, Program Director, to pause there and to thank the Department of Science and Technology for this, because it's in line exactly with the roles and responsibilities that have been assigned to different duty bearers, including the Department of Science and Technology in terms of your mandate. So we want to see all other departments being able to pick up from what science and technology has done in terms of its mandate, but taking it forward in terms of their respective mandates. DTIC, we want to see support for such programs. We're working with communications and technology to deal with the issues of inaccessible media platforms. We don't only want to deal with these things when we go to court, but we believe that through engagements like this, we can begin to see a proper advancement and inclusion in reality. Nothing about us without us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Mabelebele. In another world I exist, we would have said your presentation is progressively radical, you know. So sometimes when people get delegated, DM, you sometimes don't know what's the rationale, why ministers would send particular officials. But you have answered that question through your presentation as to why you were the one who was sent, and particularly the fact that you are challenging all state departments, especially those that have got a cross-cutting mandate, like the Department of Minister Gina, that they should be able to input to departments like those. That was an important reminder. So you are what Uzikode calls an activist public servant. We need more of that. Thank you so much. All right. MEC, I now have the privilege of calling you back to come and do the honors of presenting to this audience our keynote speaker. Others may not know who our keynote speaker is, and this is why, MEC, we have you here to come and make sure that everybody who is here present knows who is our keynote speaker, right? And if I may invite you back, MEC, luckily you are close to the podium. Please do the honors.
Thank you once again, Program Director. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to invite to the podium our Deputy Minister Nomalungelo Gina, who is actually the champion of what we are seeing today. She is the Deputy Minister in the Department of Technology and Innovation, and he will be here to formally inaugurate today's program. Her powerful advocacy for youth education, persons with disabilities, and assistive technologies that we witness today, guided by the conviction that technology must serve the excluded, sets the tone for this particular event. And I would want at this point to invite her to the podium to come and talk to us in this gathering. Over to you, Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mabuya, my sister. You know, we come a long way with this sister of mine. We won't mention it today. Greetings to the program director, Ubaba. Really, it's fine. Program director, greetings to you. Let me greet you, MEC, here. Dr. Mabuya, greetings to the Vice Chancellor, Utatewetu Nkosazana Dube. I wanted to write on the protocol that has already been established, but something within me says no. Do mention the people that are here. Greetings to the representative from the Department of Women, Youth, People with Disability, Omele Minister, Utatewetu Puti. Thank you very much for being here. Greetings to Professor Yu from China. Thank you very much for the support that you have shown. Thank you very much, Sisebenzile, the TIA board member. Thank you very much for the powerful speech that you have presented here also. Greetings to Sis Nomalungelo Gina, the CEO of ETGBC here. We know your support and we always value it. Greetings to Itumeleng Dlamini, SABC, from the SAB Foundation. Thank you very much, Itumeleng. Thank you very much for the partnership. I'll mention you as I continue with my speech. Tracy, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the powerful speech that you have had here. We've picked so much from you, Thank you ever so much. To our DDG, Mboneni and the team from TIA and the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, thank you very much for organizing this, for the work that we have done. I greet you. But also, let me greet, before I come to our VIPs, let me greet the student from the CUT. Thank you very much for the wonderful music that you have rendered. Really, we felt so warm welcomed here. Thank you, Batabami. That was powerful. What a good music that we have rendered. And to our innovators, our exhibitors, we wouldn't be here without you. I know in my speech I'm going to be touching on you. Greetings to you all that we are here. Our learners, I hope for you being here, you see that there's so much for you. Let me greet you specially. I'm happy that you are here. Yes, greetings, my learners. Thank you very much that you made time, you came here. For me, this is a very important time that we are sharing with you. I think there's so much that you'll get out of here. This will be the day, is the day that is going to change even your thinking. One day you look back and say, what is the date today? It's the 4th of August or the 3rd of August. You'll say, when I was in the CUT, that was the day that changed you, and when you look back, you'll say, you'll never forget this day. So thank you very much that you are here today. The Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, we are very happy and excited, and really we are extremely humbled that at last we are here to launch these important technologies that we are here to launch today, where we are looking at people or persons with disability and making sure these disabilities are going to be giving access to so many things that people or persons living with disability need. The minister in the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation also wanted so much to be here, and I will be doing injustice if I don't pass his regards to say, whatever we do today, he is with us, and he also is with the sector, and he's also excited that today you are here, gathered here, with this very important sector in our communities. We are gathered here today to launch officially the technologies for persons with disabilities. And this is a groundbreaking initiative. It is led, yes, by our department, that is the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, through our key instruments, that is the Technology Acquisition and Deployment Fund, and also the Grassroots Innovation Program, implemented through our entity, the Technology Innovation Agency, the TIA. This moment comes during July, which has been designated by the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability as Psychosocial Disability Awareness Month, as it has been mentioned, a time to raise public consciousness, challenge stigma, and advance the full realization of the rights of persons with disability. The timing of this event is no coincidence. It is intentional and it is symbolic. Crucially, we launched this program under the broader umbrella of South Africa's active role in the G20, and more specifically in the global conversation on diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. This year's G20's theme, as it has been mentioned, is solidarity, it's equality, and sustainability. And it calls on all of us to translate from rhetoric, but to see ourselves moving into reality. And it's one of the things that we are doing today. As a host country for the G20's first Disability Inclusive Working Group, we are demonstrating through action that inclusive science, technology, and innovation must be central to national and international development. You know, standing here as a person living with disability myself, I cannot express how proud am I about the department that I'm in, that today we're taking this particular focus to people living with disability as a demonstration that we are an inclusive government and we truly believe and we truly live and we truly demonstrate that we don't want to leave anyone behind. A few weeks ago, in Parliament, as the department, we're having our budget vote, debate, and as the department, we made sure that we emphasize that in our financial year, we will pay particular attention to people living with disability through our grass innovation programs. And today, we are here delivering on that commitment. I'm so proud to be here. And really, thank you very much, Tia, for leading on that. Again, what's the use of innovation and development of technological prototype if they don't solve problems of those in difficulty, making their lives easier to live than before? If we can't drive innovation such that the vulnerable in our society get empowered, then that ecosystem of innovation is exclusionary and elite. So again, I'm here to say, we are here to prove, to say, technology can be inclusive, and that is exactly what we are here to demonstrate. Allow me to proudly demonstrate the 4 transformative devices, the technological devices that we are launching today. These are not only locally inventions, but they are solutions that are speaking directly to dignity, speaking to agency, speaking to access when we talk to those 3, making sure that everyone is, and everyone is included in everything that we talk about. Everyone has been talking here about the CAIDA device. That is a wearable system that empowers blind users to operate mobile phones without touching the screen. It pairs a Bluetooth earpiece with voice navigation for hand-free interaction. We had a privilege of looking at that device. Thank you very much for coming up with such a device. I know we're still going to, even if we don't demonstrate it that much, but it's one device that is going to make sure that everyone hasn't gotten access and it's easier to use to those ones who are blind. So thank you very much for such an initiative. The second one that we are launching today is the Viacom. A Viacom, why am I doing this? CAIDA device, Where is my son there? Can you stand up? Those are the brains behind the Kada device and his team. Thank you very much for those brains. Those are the innovators that you are proud of. We have got Viacom. This is a video remote interpreting service providing on-demand access to South African Sign Language interpreters. It is deployed at the police station. It ensures equitable access to justice and public services. I know Uputi just touched on that one again, where we were saying, how do we make sure that we work together as government, all the departments here? The Department of Justice must come to party. Let's work together. This is the device that is going to make sure that our people are protected, even when interpreting in those courts. It's going to be easier for us. Again, it talks to the security of all of us. It talks to the access towards justice for all of us. Again, we are here to say thank you very much to our innovators for coming up with such a device. Can we see the brains behind this? Babu Plose, this is Jabulani Plose. We're really proud of you. It's going to assist us a lot. Thank you very much, Babu Plose, for such a device. We are going to see it. We are going to take time and see and walk around the exhibition. Thank you very much again for such. We sign it. It's another device that you are launching today. This is a mobile app that translates written content into South African Sign Language via the QR code. It bridges the communication gap and facilitates informed decision-making by deaf community. We sign it. Again, that is a gap that is very much important to fill and to close. Thank you very much for that. It is going to be helpful to us. Again, can we see the brains behind that? Thank you ever so much. The last one, the fourth one, is the Shazasan. This is developed by a visually impaired innovator. This is an award-winning app. It offers audio-described storytelling for blind users at tourist sites, at cinemas. It transforms sightseeing into an inclusive experience. Again, allowing all of us to enjoy and appreciate what is happening. Yes, we leave it much to imagination, but it takes us, take everyone there and make everyone feel comfortable. When you are enjoying ourselves at those cinemas, everyone will be enjoying that space. Tourists, the Department of Tourism must come in also, take up this app and make sure that everyone enjoy to be a person living in the country. Thank you very much, Shakira, for that. Can we see the brains also behind that? Thank you ever so much. These innovations were made possible through collaboration, through co-creation and targeted support for grassroots social entrepreneurs, most of whom are youth and with lived experiences. They are proof that when we fund inclusion, we fund transformation. Exactly what my sister Itumeleng was saying from the SAB Foundation. When we fund inclusion, we fund transformation. Thank you very much to our partners. Thank you very much, SAB, and for the commitment that you have said. We are still going to be walking this journey with you. The private sector will never be anything without you. We are here to thank you. Working with TIA and in consultation with our partners, we'll be scaling up these innovations and identifying additional ones to fund, test and deploy from healthcare and education to employment and mobility. Our long-term vision includes establishing a central disability innovation hub, funding more youth-led initiative, partnering with disability organizations to co-develop solutions, and developing cross-departmental platforms. She emphasized well on that. Cross-developmental platforms that ensure people can access grants, education, and care seamlessly through a mobile application. We recognize that inclusive innovation cannot be siloed. That is why we are working closely with departments like women, children, persons with disability, departments like small business, extending to DTIC, departments of police, working with NGOs, working with academic institutions like the Central University of Technology, whose research excellence helps bring science and social impact, working with private sector, and looking even more for further other collaborations and partners to make sure that we work on this. Ladies and gentlemen, the technologies we introduce today are more than just tools. They are symbols of inclusion, they are symbols of innovation and purposeful change. They represent a future where no one is left behind in the fourth industrial revolution, a future where all means all, including youth, including women, including persons with disabilities. To all our guests from G20, may South Africa's example inspire similar action in your own countries. To our innovators, your brilliance lights the way for many. And to all us all here, let this be a call to do more, to dream bigger, and to deliver better together. Let's enjoy this day. Let's make sure that we grab these devices that we are launching today to change our lives for the better. Let's embrace each other and make sure that to you, our learners, you can see that the future is bright. Government is here, working with all the partners, private sector, the NGOs. The platform that you are here, that you are laying in front of you, we are saying the ground is fertile. Go all out there, Batabami. Those already at the universities, those who are still at the level of basic education, think bigger, be innovative. We'll be there to support you. Make sure that we change the lives of the people for the better. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you so much to our keynote speaker, the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Another thunderous round of applause. Thank you so much, DM. You know, I was rehearsing the pronunciation of these technologies because in another world, the word CADA, you know, has a very exciting meaning. So I was like, okay, there's CADA, you know. Yeah. Now, the Deputy Minister spoke about these technologies, right, and which is really the reason why it is we are here, right? And we are now going to the section where we are going to have, just more information on these technologies that the DM spoke about. And the CEO is going to help us lead that part. Is it right? No. Yeah, so the CEO and the team are going to guide us so that they come and explain to us what these technologies are about, over and above what the Deputy Minister has explained. So you come and confuse us even more now with the technical detail, because that's what you do most of the time. But I hope the important thing is to simplify it also. We also pride ourselves that it's important that we simplify these things as state departments. So can I hand over to you and the team, CEO, and then you come and give us greater detail. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. It's really an honor to be here today. Let me observe the protocol that has been established before, but also use the opportunity to specifically thank and recognize the Deputy Minister, MEC for Education, our board member, Mr. Benzile Masabula, who's really been a champion for the program for people with disability in TIA. And thank you very much. I think the launch that we heard about today wouldn't have happened without yourself. The Vice Chancellor for CUT and the hospitality that we're receiving today, and I think we really appreciate that. And of course, innovators as well as the very much learners who I'm hoping through this through this segment is able to really inspire yourselves in understanding what are these technologies and hoping that this will help pave your future for going forward. Of course, as the Technology Innovation Agency, it is a privilege to represent the Technology Innovation Agency at this platform where we showcase South Africa's commitment to inclusive innovation that affirms the dignity, agency, and participation of people with disabilities in shaping our shared future. As a national public entity under the DSTI, TIA plays a catalytic role in bridging the gap between research and market-ready solutions, enabling innovations that directly address socioeconomic challenges. As TIA, we've begun and we've invested and helped facilitate a number of transformative solutions. Some of those are smart-assisted mobility devices, low-cost prosthetics developed from 3D printing, digital platforms that improve access to education, communication, and services. These are not imported technologies. These are homegrown, proudly South African innovations co-developed with communities, researchers, and individuals with the lived experiences with disability. It is now my great pleasure to introduce a few of the remarkable innovators that have worked tirelessly and developed these technologies that not only addresses real-life challenges, but does so in a way that uplifts human dignity, accessibility, and innovation in independence. Our first innovator, Mr. Tsiane, is the mind behind CADA, a transformative technology that enables visually impaired individuals to interact with smartphones without using the touch screen. I'm then going to call on Mr. Tsiane to come in, present a little bit around his solution, and then we'll follow by the 3 other innovators who will then talk to you a little bit about their solutions itself. Over to you, Mr. Tsiane.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dio Tsiane, and I'm a founder of a company called Opelin Group. And what we do, we are a tech company that's focused on improving accessibility, especially for people that are visually impaired when it comes to using their smartphones. I'd like to tell you a story about a friend of mine who runs an NGO by the name of Tlamahano Blind Association, which is found in the Free State. My friend suffers from a disease called pertussis disease. So what is pertussis disease? Pertussis disease is when the eyelid automatically shuts itself without him shutting it. So how he uses his phone is that he literally has to hold his eyelid and stare straight into the phone. And over the years of doing that, that has actually led to further eye damage and consistent headaches. And even within that NGO, we came across people that are totally blind and partially sighted. And for someone that's totally blind to select a specific application on the phone, they consistently have to tap on the screen and to listen if they've selected the right application. This often leads to unintentionally selecting the wrong app in a crowded place. It makes it very difficult for them to hear what kind of activity they're performing on their phone. And personally, we felt like it makes them much more vulnerable for criminal activity. And that sparked the idea of us developing the device by the name of the GADA device, which is a touch-free accessibility tool which aims to empower visually impaired people to have control over their smartphone. No tapping, no swiping, simple touch, and audio feedback. The device consists of two components, a wearable hardware and a mobile application. How it works is that the mobile application will take various apps on the phone, put them as a list under it, and has a built-in voice function. And through use of the hardware, which has 4 buttons, up, down, enter, exit, it makes it easier for them to move from one app to another, navigate within various applications, make phone calls, and answer phone calls. And what the device also does, it creates a provision for any Bluetooth earpiece to connect with the phone at the same time. That way, it creates that sense of privacy when visually impaired people are navigating through their phone in a public space. Our impact, what we're trying to achieve is to empower smartphone independency for people that are visually impaired and to promote inclusion, to enable visually impaired people to have access to information and communication and community transformation to bridge the gap between technology and accessibility. Our achievement, last year we came second in the Presidential SMME Award under the Social Enterprise of the Year. And currently last month, we won the Standard Bank SMME pitching competition in the Free State. And currently we're part of the IBM Tech Scale program where we're gonna be incorporating IBM technology to enhance the performance of the device, especially when it comes to AI and machine learning to ensure that we provide a personal experience for our user. Our support that we received support from the Technology Innovation Agency through the grassroots and the grassroots in which we built our first ever prototype, and the Technology Acquisition Deployment Fund, where we manufacture 200 devices, and as we speak, we have about 68 people that are currently using the device in the Free State. We also got support from the SAB Foundation to the Disability Award, and we also like to thank the local NGOs, especially Tlamano Blind Association and Develop Blind Association and Blind SA, who are the first people to utilize the device. And we also like to thank the Central University of Technology, who actually assisted us in building the first prototype and the mass manufacturing of the device. GADA device, integrating visually impaired people with the digital world. I would like to take this opportunity and privilege to give out 5 devices in hand-to-hand with the MEC, the Minister, and the Vice Chancellor to people from KI Visually Impaired Intervention Program, which is in Botshabelo, namely Ms. Klassen, Obakeng Namani, Tsepiso Tiu, Alice Eddy, and Ohulele Mamona.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tsiane. Your innovation is both empowering and inspiring. Next, we welcome Mr. Jabu Blose, founder of Viacom, a proudly South African telecom relay service that connects deaf individuals to qualified South African Sign Language interpreters in real time, unlocking access to education, health, safety, and communication. Please help me welcome Mr. Blose to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jabulani Blose. This is my sign name, like this. I am from Viacom. I'm happy to be here also to present on my app. So Viacom was established in 2016. It's a deaf-owned and managed company specializing in video remote interpreting services in South Africa. We provide real-time on-demand sign language interpreting through the secure digital video remote interpreting platform, which also gives equal access information and essential services. So our vision of this app, so a South Africa where every deaf people enjoys full equal access to information in a modern, connected society anytime, anywhere. So it's actually good for us deaf people to connect everywhere without waiting for the interpreter in present. So which means we have access everywhere, anytime, whenever we need it. So our mission also is to deliver higher quality, accessible sign language interpreting solutions that advance inclusion, access to the digital services. So how do you find this app? You see on the website, you download the app, and then you type the email and your password. It will show, it will welcome you to the VI services, so which means after you entered, everything it will show. So the app will also assist you and guide you also on if maybe you want to start a video with an interpreter. You can use it everywhere, anytime, Monday to Friday, there's no limitations. So once you are on the app, you will see a screen on demand interpreters. So you can also track the history on the calls that you made. If maybe you need the interpreter in present, you can be able to call the call center also requesting the interpreter. So it's a 100% app-based, which is seamless and secure, easy to use across all the devices. You can use it also on your phone or any devices of your choice. Yeah, you can use it on a cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, anywhere. Okay, what problems are we solving with this app? So what motivated us having this app? So which means we wanted equal services for deaf people. We wanted unprejudiced access for basic services for deaf community. We wanted also to overcome our barriers that we have. We wanted autonomy for deaf people, not to depend on other people, and also confidentiality, empowerment, information sharing, just like in present. So this app actually solves the problem of us deaf people to become independent without anyone accessing their information. Another way is of the reason we came up with this app is also building trust. For instance, when you are going to the doctor, maybe the police station, if you need the communication, so the app also gives you that opportunity to have trust, knowing that the information is not going to be accessed to with others. And also you get the appropriate services on the app. For instance, when I'm talking about the appropriate service, like maybe the issue of GBV. When you request an interpreter, we make sure that you get the appropriate services. So that's all these keys that made us to establish this app. So what do we offer? So VRI, the video, the VRI offers the real-time communication every time, everywhere, for deaf people to access public services through sign language or in sign language. Okay, our relationship with TIA, they empowered us to deploy the app in five different police stations in Gauteng. We have one in Orange Farm, Brooklyn, Tembisa, Moroka, and Johannesburg Central. So this is very impactful. And also raising awareness and accessibility for deaf people. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my presentation with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bolosa. Your work breaks communication barriers and builds true social inclusion. Our third innovator is Mr. Nick Delahunt, the visionary behind We Sign It, a mobile application that bridges the gap between written content and deaf users. Please welcome me as we welcome Mr. Nick Delahunt to explain to you his innovation. Thank you very much.
Morning all. I think it's afternoon already. The stature of the audience in front of me is incredibly humbling and both intimidating at the very same time. I'm going to discuss with you. This guy is not working. Where do I point? Oh, there we go. So we're going to talk to you guys today about We Sign It, which is a mobile app, as mentioned earlier, that translates written organizational content into South African Sign Language through pre-recorded video currently. But before that, it would be important to notice, sorry, the clicker is, there we go. One thing that is very important to note is that anybody who signs and hasn't been formally educated in a written language typically lacks the understanding of written content in English, or specifically English in our case. And that is because the dialect and sentence structure between South African Sign Language and English, or any written language, is reversed, and there are differences like, for instance, basic function words don't exist in SASL. So a drawback, unfortunately, from this, and the challenges we experience in the community, is that deaf people often get left out of mainstream communication. They often incur unnecessary debt by signing contractual agreements that they don't fully understand because certain terms don't exist in SASL. So our aim is to bridge that gap and enable deaf people to make informed decisions when taking on contractual obligations, but also to become part of mainstream communication and enable them to become part of a world with education, for instance, subjects that they've never been exposed to. Teaching biotechnology and biology and science and maths and many other subjects is incredibly challenging for deaf learners because a lot of terms don't exist in their language. We are now trying to bridge that gap. So to continue, WeSign is a translation tool. It's a mobile app, yes, but it's a translation tool and service. It's quite easy to use. Users will scan a QR code that accompanies a piece of content, and they're immediately presented with a visual translation of that content. The benefits here are incredibly obvious, obviously. It creates inclusion for deaf people. It allows informed decision-making, as I've mentioned. But the bigger one for us as well is it plays a large role in language development, because as we come across terms that don't exist in South African Sign Language, we create those terms and add them to the dictionary. We are endorsed by Deaf SA, so we work with them with all our content creation as well. And then there is no other service like this currently, which is sad as well. But we're also honored to be at the forefront of providing this type of service to the public. When testing this service with learners in 2023, as well as in our World First study on the purchasing power of deaf South Africans, 100% of users expressed the need and interest for this type of tool. I'm going to steer away from what I was trying to do initially, which was to do a demo on screen, and I've actually veered away towards doing a live demo for you guys. I'm not sure if you can see this, but here is a little poster created by NRF SASTA. It explains genetic testing, but this is typically not accessible content. And what we've done is we've created, this was our very first production piece of content created in 2022, as far as I remember. And all you would do is take the app, scan the QR code, and immediately receive your translated version of this video, of this poster. We've broken down the content into 3 different segments, and that enables users to experience that content. I'm going to move on from that one. This was just showing something else as well. This is one of our bigger features as well, is I, as a hearing person, still sometimes struggle to remember the things that I've signed for. The app has a glossary feature as well, which allows content or users to be able to access content for future reference or at later reference, and that's just to remind them the content that they've scanned. Please ignore the corporate logo in the background there. It was part of a pitch deck that we did for them. To our valued delegates, why government is our first adopter, or why we want government to be our first adopter, is because government needs to be at the forefront of inclusion. That is simple. Government is driving the inclusion barrier. We need them to become the first adopters and be seen as leading that charge. SASL is our 12th official language as well, so I feel we need to put our money where our mouths is as society. We talk inclusion, now we need to live it. It also helps government expand audience reach as well and improve the ROI on communication spend by enabling them to reach an audience previously not accessed before through written content, and that is to create real meaning. And then our roadmap going forward, this is really exciting. We've spoken AI. There's a few people who have mentioned AI in our conversations today. Our biggest one is AI integration in our next part of our roadmap, and that is to drive near real-time translation between 2 people, one hearing and one deaf. And the idea there is to remove all barriers between people. And that is me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nick. Nick has used the opportunity to challenge us to look at how we partner and we try and change this landscape. And definitely, Nick, thank you very much for engaging the audience. I'd like to next call on our last innovator, who's Ms. Shakila Maharaj. Ms. Shakila is the pioneer in the field of audio description and a creator of an innovation called Shazassan, a platform that makes the visual verbal for persons who are blind or visually impaired. Let's allow them to introduce Shakila. Thank you very much.
The mic is here.
Okay.
And I'm going to move your slides.
Can I touch the mic?
Yes, yeah.
Good day, everyone. So I'm Shakila Maharaj, and I'm the Managing Director of Shazassan Accessible Media and the innovator behind the Describe at app. So the Describe at app, I want to spell it DESCRIBE-AT, which stands for assistive technology. So let me step back a bit, why I got into this. When I went blind from a fall in my youth, I realized I could still see. I could see through my mind's eye, using my imagination. Every sound created a picture. That is why words, descriptions are so critical. They enable us to see the visual world like the way you see it. And this is what started my journey with audio description. So, our business, which is called Shazassan, provides audio description services. And the key problem that we are solving by providing this service, and I want to again take you back. During COVID particularly, when information was being flooded through WhatsApp and other social media platforms, most of it dealing with treatment, dealing with how to protect yourself, was visual. I realized increasingly then that this world is becoming more and more visual. Information, communication was shifting to all types of visual platforms. Smart technology, social media, the internet. Key life activities like working, entertainment, shopping, education, all was shifting to such visual platforms. I felt such an urgency that if we didn't do something, we as visually impaired persons were going to be increasingly isolated in life, socially and economically. And with that sense of urgency, my already journey with audio description started to take on a new momentum. I felt then we had to make the world aware that audio description was the art form by which to make this visual world accessible to us. And that was the key problem I started to deal with, and that is ensuring we could have access to information. Because after all, access to information is access to life itself. So there are two aspects to how we deal with this issue. One is we create audio description content. My team and I, and you heard Tracy speak earlier on, and I got Sabonga there as well, and half of my team are persons with visually impaired, with disabilities. We create audio description soundtracks for film, as well as for television shows, as well as for tourism destinations, museums, safari parks. And we put these audio description soundtracks on our app. Now, the ingenious part of the app is that when it hears a film playing, and the description track on the app then recognizes what's playing, it synchronizes with it. And then a visually impaired person or user just puts on their earphones and follows what's on the cinema screen or on your television or on the internet. And you can follow independently and at the same time as your sighted companion or family. And what is that doing for us? It's giving us the freedom and independence to understand what you are already taking for granted. And my intention is that we go far beyond just movies. We go to educational content. We go to commercial content, shopping platforms, commodities. We need to acquire the same commodities like everyone else, but we are not recognized in the same way. And visual content with audio description on it gives us the independence to make our own choices, whether it's prescriptive medication or whether it's something off the shelf that we want to eat. So audio description is a key part of creating independence for us. And I want to ensure that everyone here today, whether it's my fellow innovators innovating products, or whether it's this academic institution creating video content for your learners, for your teachers that come with visual disabilities, for your clients that you work with in the community, all that information needs to be described. Potentially what you see needs to be described. We need to see it as well. And I think the key takeaway you need to take from here is that blind people see. And if we see, then we need to know what our visual world is all about. We have a frame of reference, a visual frame of reference, like everyone else. More than 80% of us that are blind become blind later in life. And consequently, that visual frame of reference needs to be kept stimulated. Even those that have never seen have a visual frame of reference. They perceive. And audio description just clarifies that even further. So our impact is very clear. By creating audio description and applying it to all forms of visual media in real time or pre-recorded, you are allowing us to mainstream and become integrated. And not just that, we become contributors and creators of our visual world as well. We can participate in it. And that's the point. And in terms of TIA and Department of Science and Technology and Innovation, they walked the journey with me from inception. When I first shared my idea, they saw the relevance and immediately supported us with the funding to create the prototype. Today, that initial funding opened doors to other funders and to challenges that we have won. We've won the Irish Tech Challenge that took us to Dublin, and our innovation is being considered and used there. We won the French Development Agency Challenge, the AFD Digital Challenge. We went to Paris. I just came back from Japan, where they're keen on using our innovation. India and Bollywood movies already using it. So there is unlimited opportunity to what we are doing and to creating jobs. And I mentioned already, on average, Shazison creates 15 jobs a year. 50% of them are persons with disabilities like myself. So I want to stop at that point and say that there is no limit to what we can do and the potential that's out there, because very fundamentally what you see can be described. So thank you everyone for this opportunity, and thank you SA Brewery Foundation for also supporting and walking this journey with us. Thank you Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, and particularly your implementation arm, TIA, who has remained with us and allowed us to expand into tourism. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shakila Maharaj, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us that we are truly inspired as we listen to these four innovators and what they've been able to accomplish and achieve. It definitely goes without saying it that if you put your mind to it, you can achieve whatever you wish or desire. As TIA, we of course understand that funding alone is not enough. Sustainable innovation depends on a strong ecosystem, platforms, and entrepreneurial support. This is why we've established and supported a number of centers for innovation and entrepreneurship across the country, along with sector innovation clusters. Many of these technologies that have been showcased today were nurtured through these ecosystems, and we warmly invite you to be able to visit the exhibition spaces, engage with the innovators, and explore opportunities to collaborate. A number of them are situated in the main hall, and there's a few as you come just in the lower level as well as outside. Please do take time and engage with them, and even for the students to be able to understand and engage and understand their journey, as I'm sure that it will help transform and inspire your futures as well. These entrepreneurs are building a South Africa where innovation is not a privilege for a few, but a foundation for empowerment and participation for all. As the Technology Innovation Agency, we are going to be soon launching a call for technologies for persons with disabilities and by persons with disabilities. Please do look out for media around this launch, and this will be one of the first launches in this space. On this token, we also call on the broader ecosystem, recognizing local and global, to join us in growing this work, deepening impact, and building inclusive futures. Let us remember, inclusion is not an add-on to innovation. It is in its foundation. Let us together create an innovation landscape where every person, regardless of ability, has the opportunity to contribute, create, and thrive together. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, that is demonstration in the true sense of the word. So another round of applause to our designers of those technologies, to the beneficiaries who gave testimony, also a round of applause to them. And of course, we must also, commend the vision and the commitment that was displayed by the Technology Innovation Agency as an agency of the state to make sure that it invests not just in resource terms, but also just making sure that in terms of the impact and all the various levels of support that is done, literally walking the journey with everybody who was here. So a round of applause to the Technology Innovation Agency. So I'm also proud to announce that we are about to close now, right? We're about to close. I can say that with absolute certainty. And as we're about to close, let me indicate what are the next items that are coming. And you know what are the things that sort of like precede closure of a meeting of this nature. So what we are going to do is we are going to ask the DDG, DDG Mboneni Mofe, to come and do a vote of thanks. After we have done the vote of thanks, we will then have the team from CUT to just help us with administering the tokens of appreciation. After that, we will then announce how we are going to partake of lunch. I will explain that as the last item just before we close. Can we now welcome the DDG to come and deliver the vote of thanks?
Thank you very much, Program Director. I am going to live up to my height. So I know that a lot of people punch beyond their weight and height. I'm just going to be short. Firstly, let me just thank the Deputy Minister of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation for your leadership of the team. For us to be able to do this sort of work, it's very difficult to do them if you don't have leadership that is also committed to making sure that we realize our dreams and the dreams of the country. And I think one of the critical things that we're trying to do in the department is to make sure that science, technology, and innovation are at the center of everything. Whether it is society, whether it is education, whether it is industry, whether it is government. That is why the focus today, the range of technologies that were being demonstrated, they impact all those aspects of our lives. And what is just making it very special is that it is really, truly living up to what we're talking about when we talk about inclusion. So we thank you, Deputy Minister. We want to also thank the province for hosting us. the MEC on behalf of Premier. We have a lot of work that is happening in this province, especially through CUT, that is helping us in a whole range of things, especially through our technology stations as the Department and Technology Innovation Agency. So we really appreciate you hosting us. And as I'm saying this is because I just want you to appreciate that we couldn't have done what we have done without the partnerships. And that is really why you see we talk about our agency, the Technology Innovation Agency, we talk about government, we talk about the industries that we work with, the schools, the various innovators. And I really just want you to give a round of applause for the real celebrities of this event, which are the innovators. Without you guys, we can talk, we can avail the money, and nothing can happen. So we are very proud to say that indeed this country has got talent, we've got people that are innovative, and we can depend on you. So we will continue to work together to find more solutions for other things in future. The representative of various organizations, and here let me single out the Deaf and Blind South Africa, and some of these things we can see when Tracy was giving her speech here. There was no doubt that we are ably led in this particular thing. And I just want to say, well done, congratulations, lead us going forward. And we are going to really see a lot much more coming out of this country when we've got people like you who are in leadership position. We are in your campus here, Vice Chancellor. We thank you for hosting us. It's been a wonderful day. And I think from my side as well, I have been able to tick some very big boxes. Every time when we're engaging with our colleagues in government, DG Nkateko keeps hitting on us to say, these sort of things, when we talk about inclusivity, it's not an add-on. It must be part and central to your planning. And I'm proud to say that the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation is leading. We don't talk, we do. And we talk a little bit, and we do some more. So you can take that message back to DG to say, you have witnessed what the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation is doing. And we've got this through partnerships. For example, I really want to acknowledge the role of the CEO of the Education, Training and Development Practices, SITA, Ms. Nessie, thanks very much. SAB Foundation, everywhere we go, we do things like this. Somehow, the SAB Foundation is there, and we want to say thank you very much. All the schools that we've been able to gather today and NGOs, we know we didn't get everybody that we wanted. It was just that complicated for us for a number of reasons. But we want to say we will also find time to later on to visit and engage with those that we couldn't get here, and we can visit them and see how we can still get some exciting ideas about how to do what we need to do. With those few words, we are very proud as a department to have the kind of partnership and working relationship like the one we have with you. So thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much for that, DDG, the vote of thanks. And you kept your promise. Okay, you always do, so I was not anxious, don't worry. You always do. If you can just come closer, you can join me now on stage. Can I just invite the media people, our internal and external media people, to come closer, because we are also going to do something important that they should capture. If they can just come closer. I just need one piece of
Don't worry, it's not a mystery, MEC. You're wondering. Yeah, no, it is just. So, our host, the Central University of Technology, has been kind enough to express their appreciation, especially to those of the leadership who are here on stage with me, just as a symbol, you know, to saying that you have a lot of things that you had on your diary, you know, you could have been all over the place, but you prioritized to come here and to just, you know, show their appreciation. They have got what they call tokens of appreciation, right? But before we call out the names of the people that they want us to give, they have asked us, Deputy Minister, to explain what are in those bags. So usually in some venues or some events, it's not always explained. You know, I don't know if it adds to the zhuzh of the gift if you don't explain, but they have asked us to explain. It's probably because of transparency, VC, you know. So there is this concept that in the formation, early formative years of the department, when it was known by many names, DST at some stage, there are these facilities which are called technology stations, which were critical in helping the department structure its innovation instruments. And many of them were mainly based at what was previously known as technicons, later then becoming universities of technology. And as you would know, Deputy Minister, this institution was once a technicon, you know, and then with the mergers and incorporations, it became a university of technology. Now, one of the instruments it inherited is a technology station, right? Now, the technology station that is based here, which is the Product Development Technology Station. So they gave me an acronym earlier, and I said, we don't work with acronyms, explain it. Product Development Technology Station. The gift there, the message follows, it's in appreciation of your partnership, and we would like to give you this personalized wine stopper. Every aspect from design to engraving and the packaging, Deputy Minister, was conceptualized and manufactured in-house by the Product Development Technology Station of this institution, right? And I pleasantly learned that even the Vice-Chancellor was wowed, because even the Vice-Chancellor did not have this information that I have, because she had to be wowed. Now, they also add there, may this gift serve as a lasting acknowledgement of your role in driving inclusive innovation and empowerment, which was the constant theme in many of the speeches, right? So that is the background to the gift that we are about to receive. If we can give them a round of applause for that. Okay, so the gifts are on my left, Deputy Minister and team. So we would kindly request, as we call our honorable dignitaries, that they just come that side. But now the VC should be the one standing here, because the VC is the one who would be handing over, so that in case there are parliamentary questions, then what you must answer. We're just kidding, VC. But it is just as a courtesy. So we would like to call our keynote speaker, the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, to please receive her token of appreciation. Sure. Thank you. We would like to call the MEC, Dr. Maboya, to also just come and receive her token of appreciation. Thank you. We would like to call Didi Jim Boneni to receive his token of appreciation. Thank you. We would like to call Mr. Ismail Abdullah, the acting CEO of TIA. She's not on stage with us at the moment. Ms. Tracy Smith, who spoke beautifully here, and that is her gift. We will bring it to her. We will bring it to her. You can just show it to the audience, yeah. We'll bring it to her. Thank you. That's for Ms. Tracy Smith. Thank you so much. And the very fiery Ms. Mabelebele, on behalf of Minister Chukunga, if you can please receive your token of appreciation. Thank you. Umama usebenzile, who is the member of the TIA board, if you could kindly just hand over her token of appreciation. Thanks. Okay, thank you so much. And I see there's still one more bag, which goes to Umamu Itumeleng Dlamini, who is the representative of the SAB Foundation. Yes, thanks. That concludes your task, VC. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. It is not always, Deputy Minister, that you get to say that to a VC on her own campus. You say that concludes your task. But thank you so much, VC. We were just reminded to also thank an important group of people who have made all of this possible. And the group was explaining how much work went into making sure they curate this event to meet especially the specific needs of our main guests. So a thunderous round of applause to our interpreters who did a brilliant job. Who did an absolutely brilliant job. So thank you so much for that. Now, I'm going to announce lunch. I did say, right? Okay. Yeah, with lunch, you always win a lot of supporters, even if you have not asked for. But you hear people, yeah. So, but thanks so much. So how we are going to proceed is that all the learners and their educators are requested to remain in the hall. You may have seen there are people around the hall who are wearing green reflector vests. They are your marshals, and they are going to direct you to your various serving points. So the learners and all their educators kindly remain in the hall, right, as soon as we take leave on stage, right? And then the guests
must go to the atrium at the hotel school. The hotel school, the last time I checked, VC is on the side to the left of the program director. That's the hotel school, the last time I checked. And then everybody who's on stage with the program director and the deputy minister, right? No, I'm just on stage. I'm just saying I'm on stage. I'm not suggesting any other thing. You know, led by the deputy minister, must go back to the holding room where we were in the morning to partake of lunch, right? So that is how we are going to proceed. If there's nothing else, DDG and team, nothing else, right? I would like to officially close this program and thank the Deputy Minister, thank the MEC, thank the VC, everybody else, DDG, everybody who was involved. Most importantly, a round of applause to the most important guests, our learners who are here. Okay. So we are going to take a group picture for you. Yeah. Okay.
You forgot to think about choir. They can also usher.
Oh yes.
Tell them I reminded you.
The VC is reminding me that there's no way we cannot rethank the choir, you know. Yes. Oh yes, choir. Thank you so much for that reminder, VC. Just before DM and team goes to the holding room, our media team just requests that you assemble right at the foot of the stage for a group picture. And then after that, you may just go to the holding room. Thank you so much, everybody. This event is now formally closed. Yeah. You can decide. We're just waiting for OTM.